Week 19, expose your playoff-less franchise, Kansas City frauds. Couldn't be me and my Detroit Lions, who are very clearly, obviously going to the playoffs. Also, if you're wondering why I'm dressed up, I just wanted to remind you that you are inferior to me, and I know it's working. Okay, but seriously, Week 14, this was a banger week of NFL football. I kind of want to start out with one of the most controversial things of this week. Pittsburgh Steelers, Baltimore Ravens. Steelers were leading this game for a majority of it, but the Ravens looked so good in the entirety of the fourth quarter. It looked like the Ravens were going to come back and win it. They throw this pass. Now, if you didn't see this yet, I just want you to tell me what you're seeing here. Throw this pass to Isaiah Likely. Big jump ball, Isaiah Likely, two hands on the football. It's clearly secure. He holds it above his head, clearly secure. Right foot down, left foot down, and then as his right foot's going to come down again, the ball gets swatted out before his third foot gets down, and this is ruled not a touchdown. Now, this touchdown would have put the Ravens up. Like, this was a huge, huge touchdown. And it was ruled incomplete. Now, supposedly, according to, like, the rules analysts, there's the three pieces of a catch, right? And one of those is a football move. You must secure the football and then create a football move, which I believe is the third step. I'll be honest, though, it feels like they change this ruling every single week. If this was Madden, that's absolutely a touchdown. Now, Madden doesn't tell you shit about it. As I watched this, I absolutely thought it was a touchdown. Supposedly it's not. Let's see what people believe here. This guy says the ball is secured in the end zone and took 2 steps. Play is over. Yes, it's a touchdown. Now let's see someone say the opposite. We've seen much less called a touchdown. I certainly agree with that. Regardless of whether this is a touchdown or not, I've absolutely seen plays that look way shittier and there's way less security and they call it a touchdown, right? I do think it's kind of funny that it's Isaiah Likely because he's always the guy who's like on the short end of the stick of not getting a touchdown. So here's this happening once again. To me, that's a touchdown. Whatever. Let's see what people are saying. That's so wild. I mean, this guy's a Steelers fan, so that's kind of lit, actually, that he'd say that. A catch is simply whatever the ref feels like a catch is on any given day. I don't like your face, 15-yard penalty. Catch rules, you can't just be up there and just do it again. I thought this was actually going to be the catch rules. I don't know, Jim. So here's someone finally giving the dissenting opinion. It's actually very simple. Take a third step or go to the ground while hanging on. Then it's a catch. Because people always talk about this too. It's like, okay, he needs to get the third step. Well, what about if you're going out of bounds? What about a toe drag? Like, if you get both feet down, you catch the football and you immediately go out of bounds. You obviously didn't get a third foot down. That's why sometimes if you're going out of bounds and you don't secure the football on the way down, you can drop it. Stupid shit. I think it should be a touchdown, whatever. Regardless, though, Steelers-Ravens was a really, really good game. And the way the Pittsburgh Steelers had been playing and everyone was kind of shitting on Aaron Rodgers and Mike Tomlin, you would have thought that this game would have been close anyway. But it was actually a really good game. Aaron Rodgers was going to DK Metcalf a ton. This is what I feel like he didn't do at all last game. I mean, DK Metcalf getting 12 targets. I have to assume that is his most targets of the season. Don't quote me on it. But 7 receptions, 150 yards is what I expect out of DK Metcalf. And it's what I like to see out of DK Metcalf. Once again, you know, Zay Flowers too is kind of like that. I feel like Zay Flowers just goes incognito, just goes missing for multiple games. But 8 receptions, 124 yards. Big game out of him too. It was a fun game. I really do think that the Ravens just turned it on way too late. The Ravens never should have been in this huge deficit. They failed to put themselves in a position to win the game, and then there's a shitty call. So you got to be objective. I think the Ravens should have been converting and playing better football the entire game. They really turned it on in the fourth quarter, and then a shitty call, you know, and then you lose the game. But it's like, if you just play well the entire time, this shouldn't be a game. And now Baltimore's in a spooky spot, same way Cincinnati lost. In a spooky spot. The AFC North is still open. This is not a big game disparity, and whoever gets at the top of the AFC North, gets a guaranteed playoff. And they get a guaranteed home field advantage for that playoff game. So it doesn't matter that the Pittsburgh Steelers are only 7-6 or the Baltimore Ravens are only 6 wins and 7 losses. See how I broke that up? So you stupid fucking 8-year-olds won't fucking comment on this video. somebody's going to playoffs out of the AFC North, and that's just how it works. Same with the NFC South. Somebody's got to go. Speaking of the NFC South, I guess we'll talk about this game next. Saints Buccaneers. Dude, the Saints have been putting on a very impressive poverty performance over the last couple games. They almost came back and beat Miami last week, and here they beat Tampa Bay. No team in the NFL has cooled off harder than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Literally. And I've talked about this every week, and it just continues to be true. What Tampa Bay was at the start of the season is what the Houston Texans are right now. Except Houston Texans look a hell of a lot better. Tampa Bay, 7-6 now. Baker Mayfield, incredibly mediocre performance against a team that you would expect to be tanking. A team that is not known for incredible anything. 24-20. Emeka Egbuka, the guy who was supposed to be Offensive Rookie of the Year, Emeka Egbuka, dude, he dropped a touchdown dead nuts in his mitts. Pitiful performance for him. This is with Chris Godwin back. This is with Bucky Irving back. The only offensive excuse you have is no Mike Evans. And yeah, I love Mike Evans, but they were doing a hell of a lot without Mike Evans and without Chris Godwin and without Bucky Irving. This was a really big blunder for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Once again, somebody out of the NFC South has to go to the playoffs, and the NFC South is dog shit. Right now, it's between Tampa Bay and Carolina. One of you two is going to go. Who's it going to be? I don't know, but I don't think either team has a great shot right now. Out of the two, I think it's probably the Carolina Panthers. I think the biggest bummer, though, is Daniel Jones going down. Daniel Jones goes down on the most bizarre injury. Let me pull this up. So Daniel Jones suffered a torn right Achilles after literally a routine pass. And that's the sad thing about Achilles injuries. You notice this in basketball all the time. You don't see it so much in football. I guess we did see it with Aaron Rodgers, but like Achilles injuries are just like nothing. It's nothing. This is so non-contact. It's not even a tough throw. He wasn't even on the run. And that is the kind of frustration you expect out of an injury like that. Like, it literally just pisses you the fuck off. If you get absolutely laid out and you get a concussion, you don't process it the same way as you process this. This is just like, fuck, why me, bro? Why me? Literally. That's what that feels like. He was balling out this season. 110% the Colts' fault for even letting him play. Dare I say this injury could have been prevented if he rested? I don't agree with this at all. Maybe I just don't understand the extent of his original injury as well, but I don't know that I agree with this. Probably got hurt because he was overusing it while trying to not use his fractured leg. Was a mistake playing through it. I don't know. To me, this is totally a hindsight is 2020 moment. The Colts are 8-4 here, and the Jaguars were what, 7-5, maybe also 8-4. You gotta play your starting quarterback in a big divisional game when you haven't locked up anything yet. I mean, the Colts have kind of been on the downswing ever since starting out super hot. They've been on the downswing. This to me is super hindsight-y. I don't know, if you don't play Daniel Jones and then the Colts keep losing games, wouldn't all the fans be saying, play Daniel Jones? Why are we not playing Daniel Jones? This is stupid, right? I don't know. Either way, Jaguars, I mean, listen, without Daniel Jones, they're not going to get it done. Like, you can see the impact across every other piece of a team. To have a really strong run game, you have to have a strong passing game, a strong play action game, a good quarterback, a good offensive line. The impact that Jonathan Taylor can now have without Daniel Jones is significantly decreased. And yes, he's still Jonathan Taylor. That's not taken away from him. But the running back position is so dependent on those things. It's only like some of the greatest running backs of all time who can defy that logic, and Jonathan Taylor's still going to do good, but I think this really screws up his Offensive Player of the Year. Not that that's what anyone's worried about, but Trevor Lawrence, they get the win against Riley Leonard. Daniel Jones is going to be out for the season, and I think the Colts are cooked. I really hate to say that, but I don't think they can miraculously pull this thing off with Riley Leonard. I don't know what they're going to do. You know, technically, you can sign free agents. I don't know if is there a good quarterback out there anywhere that's literally sitting on the couch watching football right now that could be signed? You know what I mean? You know, remember when the Los Angeles Rams just signed Eric Weddle like 2 weeks before the Super Bowl because he was just sitting on his couch? They're going to have to pull some shit like that out. Broncos, Raiders. Broncos 11-2. Patriots 11-2. I think any game that's close against the Raiders is kind of crazy, but really this was just Broncos dominating, playing it slow, and the Raiders getting poverty touchdowns. So I don't think too much about this. 31 for 38. A lot of passes out of Bo Nix. RJ Harvey's looked good. I've really liked watching RJ Harvey. It was Javonte Williams who was on the Broncos and really wasn't doing much, and I thought he was washed. He goes to Dallas, and he's great. RJ Harvey's been really, really good over here in Denver. So I like that kid a lot. Cortland Sutton, Pat Bryant, Lil Jordan Humphrey. What a goated name. All-time goated name. Who are they missing? Where's Troy Franklin? Troy Franklin had been good for a few weeks. Didn't do too much here. I do think that Denver reminds me a lot of Houston, where the defense is so good, and that's so important in winning football games. But when I look at the offense, I'm just like, I don't know how this offense works. This is an untalented offense. I don't know that I like anybody on this offense very much at all. I think RJ Harvey's young and okay. I think it's an incredibly mediocre wide receiver room in Denver. I don't know. I just don't know that this team can go deep in the playoffs. That's what I'm saying. I'm actually talking shit. I know they're 11-2. I don't think this is a deep playoff team at all. I don't know why I'm talking shit about Denver. I really don't, but I don't know. I don't see it. Okay, Bears, Packers. Holy shit, this game was a banger. This game was a banger. Caleb Williams was going absolutely dummy. I don't want to hear any Caleb Williams slander on my timeline ever again. Caleb Williams is actually, you know what's so funny about Caleb Williams? Fucking dot, by the way. You know what's so funny about Caleb Williams? Caleb Williams is one of few quarterbacks who continues to play the exact same way he played in college, and it actually works. So many quarterbacks do this scramble out bullshit that they did in college, and then they come to the league and it does not work. It simply does not work. We've seen it with probably 50 different quarterbacks. Caleb Williams, I swear to God, every play, this dude rolls out to the right, makes some shit up, and is actually good with it. Now, that's honestly just an unbelievably spectacular play. Good Lord. Olamide Zaccheaus? It's really a spectacular play by the wide receiver. How he hauled that in is more impressive. But you'll notice on so many Caleb Williams plays, I think as we get deeper into the playoffs, I think defensive coordinators are going to scheme against this. Because watch, you're going to actually see him do it again. Now this is not a designed rollout. He's going to just fucking do it, dude. He always does it. I'm telling you, he does this shit like every time. There he does it again. I think as the playoffs roll around, I think teams are going to scheme against that. Green Bay won anyway, but dude, it came down to the final play. And this was the final play right here. For the record, I think this was a spectacular play call. So on 3rd and 1, Bears run it. They get stuffed. On 4th and 1, I got to give a lot of credit. Look at these defenders. They all have their eyes in the backfield. It's like they all know that this isn't a handoff. That's just really good defense. I don't think it would have mattered, though. You give that ball to Swift, and he's fucking cooked. This is just such good defense. Green Bay Packers defense is incredible. I love the play, though. You play action a handoff. You let Caleb Williams roll out. If he's got the free lane, you let him go get the first down. And then you've got your tight end leaking. Keyshawn Nixon just makes such a good play. Honestly, the Packers just fucking called out that play, basically. They were like, yeah, we know exactly what you're about to do. I still like the play call. That was a really fucking good play call. And now, technically, I think the Bears still have the top spot in the NFC North because they're... Oh, no. No, they don't. Packers hold it now. 9-3-1 Packers and 9-4 Bears. So the Packers have it now, and then the Lions are 8-5. NFC North is so close. Never put Caleb in Jordan Love's tier ever again. That's fucking hilarious. Caleb Williams absolutely outplayed Jordan Love this entire game. It's not even close. That's crazy. The Packers played a great game, but Caleb Williams was the better quarterback. Absolutely. What in the Brett Favre was that? Dude, it was 4th and 1. You have to throw that. There's nothing I love more than silencing sorry-ass Bears fans. Caleb is a bust. You're fucking hilarious. Bro had DJ Moore. He did have DJ Moore. Wow, so you guys don't even just micromanage me on Madden. You micromanage the actual NFL quarterback. That's crazy. It's clear that there is a running back split in Chicago. Common Ungai and D Swift basically exactly splitting reps. Josh Jacobs looked really good. Did Caleb Williams really outperform Jordan Love? I think Caleb Williams did outperform Jordan Love. I thought Jordan Love's interception was just pitiful. I just literally think that Packers defense is so good. So good. Oh, maybe I'm biased as fuck. Maybe Jordan Love actually did play better. Shit! I don't want to admit that I was wrong. Dude, the throws to Christian Watson were insanely good. Okay, fine. I'm going to glaze Jordan Love for like 3 seconds. Fine. Let me find a clip of a Jordan Love pass. Here we go. I'm going to glaze Jordan Love. Play action. Yak merchant shit, bro. I'm not glazing that. I'm not gonna fucking glaze that. That was a 2-yard slant. I'm not glazing that. No, I'm not glazing that. Give me another Jordan Love. Give me a Jordan Love clip so I can live. Jordan Love, lancando camueto amor. All right, I need to turn on the sound for this Spanish guy to start shouting in my ear. If he says anything I don't like, I'm calling ice.
Acontecendo agora, né? Nesse exato momento. Jordan Love vai pro jogo profundo e tá lá na endzone.
All right, that was a fucking dot. There you go, Jordan Love. That was lit. Woo! Okay, fine. I'm going to glaze him again. Jordan Love with a fadeaway touchdown to Christian Watson. He loves to throw like that. Jordan Love might be the only quarterback in the league who likes to throw it like that. When he iced the game against the Lions, he threw the football like that. The whole thing with quarterbacks, you know what they're always saying? Chris Collinsworth and all these corny-ass announcers are always saying, you got to turn the hips. You got to step into it. You got to rotate the hip to get the power on the football. Which is probably true. I don't know how to throw a fucking football. I was a kicker for a reason. But I do think it's very funny that he has a clean pocket and he 100% can step into this. And he just chooses not to.
It allows a one-on-one matchup with a receiver on a safety.
So is he just goated with the sauce? Does he just like to shoot like that? Or, sorry, throw like that?
Watson.
Or does it actually not matter that much?
On Byard.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of a basketball player being wide open and they'll just fade. Because, do you know what I'm talking about? I swear to God, I shoot better fading to the right than I do if my feet are set and I actually do a follow-through form jump shot. Like, if I'm fading to the right, I don't know. I swear, though, there's a thing to it. That's kind of cool to see. Holy shit, wait a minute. I haven't even talked about the most banger game. The most banger game? Wow, this week was fucking electric. This game, in the snow, holy shit. In the snow is awesome, too. Cincinnati Bengals looked like they were playing so good, then they choked the fuck out of this game. Oh my God, they choked this game so bad.
Team play of the drive, it's Brown trying to find daylight.
Squeezes his little ass in there. I think the most impressive piece of the Bengals-Browns game is 39-34, and the Bills won it. The most impressive piece of it, I think, was a T. Higgins touchdown. This right here. This was fucking disgusting. This was genuinely disgusting, and it's going to be erased from history because they choked this game. There was like a pick six to Christian Benford. There was like a fumble six. Trying to remember this game in its entirety because so much happened in like 2 minutes of football that it is hard to keep track of. But Joe Burrow basically looks at T. Higgins and says, hey, your DB is barbecue fucking chicken. Just go run down there. I'm going to throw you the ball and you just catch it. So he just airs that bitch out. Tre'Davious White, blatant DPI. Tre'Davious White's looking up at that ball like, oh, I'm cooked. I'm about to get put on TikTok. I absolutely have to just go for the DPI and they'll throw the flag. Well, guess what? He literally has 2 hands on T. Higgins' left arm. T. Higgins, look at this shit. That is the most blatant DPI ever. T. Higgins catches that shit anyway. Higgins. And they don't call a flag. And this is not penalized. That shit is crazy. That is such a DPI. And T. Higgins doesn't give a fuck.
Second one of the day, and T. Higgins returned from
in the snow.
The injury.
In the snow, Patrick Mahomes' wide receivers can't catch a ball dead nuts in their fucking hands. And T. Higgins can do it one-handed in the snow. Good Lord, T. Higgins is so good. Burrow's got to hate his defense. As a Bengals fan, we're a funny franchise. Enjoy the comedy. Here's the thing. Of course, Joe Burrow doesn't hate his defense. Everybody knows why this occurred. You spent $300 million on 3 offensive players. Since when is that a formula for success? And guess what? 2 of them are in on this play. You spent $300 million between Joe Burrow and the guy catching the ball. And yeah, you get plays like that, but you also got a 40-piece put on your head. First, your refs call an obvious touchdown and incomplete pass, and they miss an obvious PI on Mark Andrews. Why even play the games if you're gonna rig them? I think we so badly need referee reform in the NFL. I don't know how it occurs. I don't know if it occurs. I don't know what it takes. I don't know what the steps are. But if there's anything we can do, I want to do it so bad. I think refereeing in a sport, in America's fucking sport, the biggest, the best sport in this country, the best sport in this country. I'm not going to say the world. I know you foot fairies want to shove a soccer ball up your ass and say, see you. I don't give a fuck. I'm talking about this sport, bro. And the referees piss me the... Whatever. Yeah, this is what I mean about this game. So much... Look at how much occurred in the 8 minutes of football. It's 28-18. Truly, though... You say whatever you want about the defense and this and that and the other thing. The Bengals choked this game away with multiple huge turnovers. That's what lost them the game. I think this is the crazy one I'm initially referencing. So the Bills go and get a touchdown. It's 28-25. Bengals are in this position to, like, put this game away.
Oh, my goodness!
And he broke the tackle.
Look out here!
Christian Benford. Jamar Chase tried to flag him down.
The other way!
Not enough.
Touchdown!
Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. Like, that's just the Bengals choking this game away.
One of these quarterbacks is...
By the way, the Bengals already had this gigantic uphill battle. The Bengals are 4-8, so for them to come back and go to the playoffs, they pretty much had to play perfect. And they needed some other teams to lose. And now it's over. They can't make it anymore.
Burrow has it hit at the line and picked again. Lightning strikes twice for Buffalo.
Like, that's honestly just unlucky as shit.
Vanessa gets this.
Like, the first one's like, okay, maybe you don't throw that ball, maybe you pump fake it. But this is just like, balls get swatted down all the time.
Vanessa, the interception.
Or they don't, you know?
After Jordan
But that's the
Phillips.
shit that happens in Madden, and then I go, oh, that's fucking whack. That never happens. This is just a shitty loss. It's really unfortunate. Really unfortunate loss. But good work for the Bills defense, and that's just beautiful. I love a snow game. And I think most importantly, I love that Josh Allen had like 60 yards rushing and a touchdown at the end of that game. Here's fantasy football. This was the battle for the 1 seed in my league. I was 9-4, and Rick was 10-3. So now I'm going to move to 10-4. He's going to move to 10-4, and I have the tiebreaker against him. He's the best guy in our league, but I put up a monster week this week. And that was with Odunze out. I didn't know Odunze was out. I don't know why I didn't know that, but Odunze was out. So I should have had in probably Jordan Addison, who dropped 10. Harold Fannin was amazing. I'm telling you, this guy's like dynasty tight end. This dude is 100%. Holy shit. Have dementia. Have a stroke. This dude's 100% going to be a fucking monster tight end in the league for the next 7 straight years. I'm so excited to have him in dynasty. Harold Fannin is my GOAT. I nicknamed him the White Gronk. Chris Olave, washed cornball, had 6. Smith hasn't played yet as I'm recording this. Odunze's out. Giga Chad, Brandon fucking Aubrey with a 24-piece. Denver Broncos defense 11. He still has Jake Elliott, Saquon, Oronde Gadsden, but I've got a 50-point buffer. It's unlikely, but I technically could lose. Either way. Very excited about it. Bijan didn't put up a good performance. Atlanta is pitiful. I can't believe I thought Atlanta was going to be halfway decent this year. I hate watching Atlanta play. They're shit. Okay, can we talk about something that's so different, though? As we get late in the season, you will notice just this huge difference between weather-controlled football, like in a dome, 70 degrees, Ford Field, Arizona Cardinals Stadium, SoFi Stadium, versus like at Arrowhead when it's 10 degrees. Los Angeles Rams, Arizona Cardinals was the perfect example of that. When Los Angeles is playing inside and perfect, I swear to God, they're like practicing against junior high school kids. This Rams game was nuts. They did whatever they wanted. They almost never made a mistake. They were running shenanigans plays, literally toying with the Arizona Cardinals. And the Rams, to me, are the best team in the league right now. The Rams, to me, without a doubt, are the best team in the league right now. But I am really interested to see upcoming games with the Los Angeles Rams without perfect weather. For example, this Los Angeles Rams team doing this to Arizona. Yeah, Arizona's not very good. Yeah, it's at home. Blake Corum popped, by the way. Remember Blake Corum at University of Michigan with J.J. McCarthy? Dude would score like 3 touchdowns a game in college. 12 carries, 128 yards, 2 touchdowns. Kyron Williams managers, are you shaking in your boots? Are you a little scared? I'm not. I've got Buka Babua for 7 receptions, 167 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Huge game. Michael Wilson fucking popped without Marvin Harrison Jr. in there, so I don't know if you started him in fantasy. It would have been a bold start. If you started Michael Wilson, you're kind of a savage. But he dropped like 40 in fantasy this week, so good call. All I'm really saying is you watch this Rams-Cardinals game, and that's like, you think of football like that. But then you go watch the Chiefs-Texans game, and it's totally different. Like, they're not even, sometimes it doesn't look like they're playing the same sport. In the Chiefs-Texans game, if you guys watch this, it felt like nobody could do anything. Part of the reason is these are 2 spectacular defenses going up against each other, but weather is such an insane factor. CJ Stroud had Nico Collins dead nuts on a touchdown, and you just can't throw that ball in those conditions. It's so hard with so much wind and how cold it is. That's what playoff football looks like, though. Playoff football, unless you're in the Dome Stadium, it's usually going to look like this. Any outdoor stadium is going to look like this, and I think it kind of exposes teams sometimes. For example, this is what I'm trying to say. If the Houston Texans played the Los Angeles Rams and it was inside a dome, like good weather, I think Rams would absolutely shit on them. But if it's unfavorable weather, I think I'm taking Houston. I think I'm taking the better defense any day of the week. Houston, by the way, legitimate playoff contender. I do not care about 8-5. I think the Houston Texans are unbelievably good. That Houston Texans defense is disgusting. You just did this to Patrick Mahomes at Arrowhead? The Patrick Mahomes, the only person on planet Earth right now that is even close to coming to Brady's level? This is the only person who even has a chance to be on Brady's level. And the Houston Texans defense just made them look like shit. Now, you got to be real with yourself here. Chiefs receivers played horrible. Rashee Rice, multiple drops. Kareem Hunt dropped one dead nuts in his face. Travis Kelce ended the game with a drop. I wouldn't say ended the game. I mean, they had lost anyway. I don't think they were going to go march down and magically get a touchdown here. But this is crazy. I mean, this is supposed to be the greatest quarterback to tight end duo of the last bazillion years. He just, not only did, I'm sorry, drop is a reach. He dropped that ball into Azeez Al-Shaair's hands for an interception to end the game. Also, this fucking hit by Jalen Petrie. Holy shit. This is why you wear a Guardian cap, ladies and gentlemen. This is why Jalen Petrie puts on the Guardian cap. Mahomes hospital ball to Rashee Rice. Boom! Creed Humphrey's getting up in his face like, fuck you. I mean, listen, Creed Humphrey. I respect it, bro. Always looking out for your boy. I love it, always looking out for your boy. The funny thing, though, that's an incredibly clean hit. You know what's funny? You don't see hits like this in the NFL anymore. So when I saw this hit, all I could think was like, where's the flag? Where's the flag? Where's the flag? They're throwing a flag on that. He hit him way too fucking hard. There's a flag on that. Listen, in the NFL, there's no flag for hitting somebody too hard. There's flags for hitting a defenseless receiver. There's flags for unnecessary roughness. There's flags for leading with the crown of your helmet. But if you lead with your shoulder into a receiver who is an active receiver, which Rashee Rice was with the ball, an active ball carrier, you're allowed to do that. It doesn't make it any better, though. I do think Rashee Rice went unconscious there for at least a split second. You can see his body go limp. Shout out Rashee Rice, though. What a fucking dog. Rashee Rice, after getting knocked out clean, he takes a second, pushes himself back up. Rashee Rice is a fucking beast for that, bro. What's with the O-lineman coming over like he's going to start shit? You know, I kind of respected it. It's very common in football when your teammate gets blasted, emotions are high. Yeah, I respected it. It's like, you know what? Yeah, you just laid my teammate out, but fuck you, by the way, because that's my teammate. I respected it a lot. Wow, dude, there were so many good games this week. Where do I even start here? Okay, also, last thing I'm going to say on Texans Chiefs, Chris Collinsworth, take the Chiefs' dick out of your fucking mouth. Holy shit. The Houston Texans just put on a fucking clinic And CJ Stroud significantly outperformed Patrick Mahomes. And Chris Collinsworth can't bring himself to say it. He can't bring himself to say it. Bro, if you're watching this game the whole time, you would swear, if you're blind, you would swear the Chiefs are up by 10. He keeps glazing Patrick Mahomes despite this being probably his worst performance of the season. Chris, it's okay. Mahomes is truly the only person close to Brady. He's such a good quarterback. But guess what? The story of this game was the Houston Texans defense is fucking cracked. CJ Stroud stepped up and played great. And the Chiefs and all their stars played like shit. Chris Collinsworth's out here glazing fucking sacks and negative yardage plays. And it's, you can't watch a Collinsworth game with the Chiefs, and you can't watch a Romo game with it either. I swear to God, the networks go to these guys, and they're like, hey, we have this agenda we're trying to push. Can you, like, infuse some fucking glaze? Can you play Glazer Tag with Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce before the show starts? Can you go down to Zap Zone and play fucking Glazer Tag? Give him the keys to the Glaze Mobile and let him take the top down and go 110 on the highway while you give him Roadhead. Fuck! Okay, I'm done. I overreacted, and I apologize for absolutely nothing. I can't control my emotions. That's why they're my emotions, so I don't apologize. Dolphins, Jets. What do you want me to say? The poverty off. I mean, technically, like, the Dolphins are kind of on, like, a winning streak. So that much can be said. Jalen Wright doing well makes me very happy because this is the most overprinted rookie sports card of all time, outside of maybe Jatavion Sanders. So I've got like 18 fucking Jalen Wright autos. So if you want to keep doing this, that'd be lit. Yeah, I don't have much to say about this game, man. Brady Cook came in at quarterback for the Jets. The Jets already sold out their whole season. They traded their two best players for capital. It's hard to be a Jets fan and to know that your ownership basically said, look, we're just going to fucking lose. That's got to be a tough one. So there's not much to say on this game. Commanders, Vikings. Now, this Washington team is such a shell of its former self. This team has fallen off harder than any team. Last year, you would have thought Washington was going to walk into the season one of the best teams. Now, yes, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt that Jaden Daniels has been out, but even when Jaden Daniels was in and now since he's come back, God, they don't look good. They were just like a one-hit wonder last year. The good thing here, if you're a Vikings fan, is getting J.J. McCarthy reps, quality reps, confidence. That's all this game is really about. J.J. McCarthy puts up a good stat line, multiple passing touchdowns, and no interceptions. J.J. McCarthy has struggled this year. He's a young quarterback. He's been under flack. Everybody and their mother has been shitting on J.J. McCarthy. So for him to come in here and have a really solid game like this is super important for a quarterback that you are investing in as your franchise quarterback. You take him with a high pick. You don't retain Sam Darnold. I think this was a very solid game for the Minnesota Vikings. I think the Minnesota Vikings' biggest concern right now is this man right here. Now, Justin Jefferson is a consummate professional, and I respect him for that. Justin Jefferson has every right to bitch and bitch and bitch about the fact that this is not what it used to be. He was the guy for so many years in a row, and now, dude, two receptions, 11 yards, 4 targets. I'd be fucking pissed. I'd be pissed if I was Justin Jefferson. I think the Vikings need to worry about Jefferson not wanting to jump ship. The quarterback play's got to significantly improve, or Jefferson's going to want to go to a team. Can you imagine Justin Jefferson going to the Kansas City Chiefs? Can you imagine Justin Jefferson going to the Los Angeles Chargers? Can you imagine Justin Jefferson going to any team with a top 10 quarterback or a top 10 passing offense? It would be bonkers. And that's kind of what Minnesota's been for a while, and now this J.J. McCarthy era, it's gotten a little weird. So that's the only thing I really have to say there. Vikings are in a tough spot because the NFC North is so tough too. Titans, Browns, this was a shockingly awesome game. Okay. Guess what? Absolutely nobody can deny the fact. Nobody can deny the fact that this was probably the best value pick of the entire NFL draft. The disparity between the Cam Ward pick and the Shedeur Sanders pick is gigantic in terms of draft capital, but the disparity in their play is kind of close. Like, there isn't much disparity in their play. Here's an actual graphic. Ward versus Sanders, first overall pick, 14 for 28, 122. An interception, 144th, had almost 400 yards, 4 touchdowns. Now, you got to take all this with a grain of salt. Number one, the Tennessee Titans are unbelievably less talented than the Cleveland Browns. In fact, the Titans are so not talented that even though they are at the bottom of the NFL, that does not truly grasp how shit that team is. It really doesn't. Okay, so it's not apples and oranges. These cannot be compared head to head. But for the Cleveland Browns to have started Joe Flacco and then started Dylan Gabriel, and finally it's their third option, Shedeur Sanders, who is by far their best option, and it ain't even close. This is the best option they have right now, is pretty awesome. They lost the game anyway, so to some degree this is a volume stat. You're losing the entire game. You're passing the entire game. But that's fucking awesome. This is the first rookie quarterback showdown of the season. That's kind of funny. God-awful play call from Stefanski at the end of the game. Totally agree. We'll talk about that in a second. Titans awful defense versus Browns good defense as well. You're just being a hater. This is technically true, but I don't know why you decided to comment that on this. That's just hater shit. Harold Fannin almost had more receiving yards than Cam had throwing yards. Yeah, Harold Fannin's my GOAT. Cam Ward beat the #2 defense in the league. Shedeur is playing the 28th. These comment sections are truly so weird. Like, it's just insane hater behavior. Why would it matter? Shedeur Sanders was a 5th-round pick. He was the 144th overall pick. This is an insane, dude. To draft a quarterback 144th and they do this is insane. Take his name out of it. Take his name out of it. This is Joe Schmo. Bro, this is an anonymous person. For them to do this is fucking lit, especially for Cleveland, who is known for burying quarterbacks' careers, just burying them. I think this was an awesome game. It's a cool game to watch, but it doesn't magically make the Cleveland Browns good at all. Their offense is still... If you can't beat Tennessee, you can't beat anybody, bro. Tennessee's so ass. They got so much work to do. They got so much work to do. If someone was still starting Tony Pollard in fantasy, you're either in a 14-man league or you're just delusionally a fan, but it paid off. So congratulations on that. That's 161 yards, 2 touchdowns out of him. Wow, they couldn't run the ball really at all either. I'm used to Judkins having good games, but I didn't notice just how bad those stats are. Harold Fannin's my GOAT. Oh, and then Jerry Jeudy. You guys remember last week when, everyone was bitching about this? Everybody's bitching. Remember when Jerry Jeudy's yelling at Shedeur and everyone's like, oh, fuck, you can't talk to your quarterback like that. You can't talk. Your ass, Jerry Jeudy.
60 yards.
And then guess what? They connect for this huge touchdown.
Touchdown pass.
And then they go pray together.
Well, if you're going to win.
Yeah, Dylan, get comfy on that bench. Anybody get comfy on the bench. Shedeur's your best option. It ain't even close. It ain't even close. I love it. I love it. As certified Shedeur Sanders glazer, #1 glazer, I love it. I've been glazing for so long. It's finally paying off. Oof. Yes. Seahawks, Falcons. Seahawks are still stupid good. Is anybody shocked? The Seahawks are still amazing. Jackson Smith-Njigba, 7 receptions, 92 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jackson Smith-Njigba, Offensive Player of the Year. Jackson Smith-Njigba is the clear leader for Offensive Player of the Year. Look at the stats on this season, man. 89 receptions is 4th in the NFL. 1,400 yards is 1st. He's tied for 2nd in touchdowns. Holy shit. Literally, holy shit. I don't even know where to start with this. This is after they picked up Rashid Shaheed, where I thought he'd fall off a little bit. Nope. Not even close. Oh, by the way, the Falcons are ass. I don't know if you knew that or not, but the Falcons are ass. Kirk Cousins, 15 for 30, 2 interceptions. They paid this guy $150 million. Atlanta, you're cooked. Atlanta, you're cooked. I don't even know. I don't know what else to say about that. Oh, my favorite game of the week. Dallas Cowboys, Detroit Lions, my favorite game of the week. Dak Prescott and the Cowboys really needed this win. Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions really needed this one. This game had so much playoff implications because both of us are fringe playoff teams. And now we have to play each other when we're both fringe playoff teams. So whoever won this truly has a shot. And we truly have a shot now. 44-30, we knew the game was going to be like this. Trash defenses, great offenses, perfect weather. It's in Ford Field. But you get what I'm saying. And once again, this is what scares me the most about Detroit. By far, the thing that scares me the most about Detroit is the disparity in our quarterback play. I said disparity way too much today. The difference in our quarterback play when we have good weather. This is what Jared Goff does in good weather games when the offensive line's playing well. He's so freaking good. 309 yards, a touchdown, no interceptions, super efficient football. Great job, Jared Goff, right? And then everybody's cooking. J-Mo's cooking. Isaac Tesla has a touchdown and 2 catches. Jahmyr Gibbs, check down Merchant, 7 for 77. Can we do it in bad weather against a good team? Because we're literally going to have to win a playoff game. We don't have a choice. I mean, if the Bears are the 1 seed or the Packers are the 1 seed, they get home field advantage, so we then go to their... This is like how I'm trying to run this through in my head. I don't know if we'll even make the playoffs, but I'm very scared of the universe where we have to go to a bad weather playoff game and try to play well. It scares the shit out of me. Other thing I'll say about this game, very poorly officiated football game. CeeDee Lamb, like in favor of us. Here's the thing. I do not like any poorly officiated game. I think people are under the impression that like bad officiating's okay when it's in favor of your team, or they'll like glaze their own team when the refs suck in their favor. They get bailed out by a call and it's like, oh, fuck yeah. I hate it. I hate watching it. Jake Ferguson got called for like the worst OPI I've ever seen in my whole life.